You will own nothing and be happy.
We used to own everything back in the day. We used to own our houses, we used to own our cars, we used to own our music, and we used to own our films and much, much more. Nowadays, we're subscribing to music services, we're streaming movies that we don't own, renting houses, borrowing money, and we buy stuff in installments rather than buying them in cash. Everything we have is not ours anymore. So why? Why is this happening? Is it because of convenience? Or is this lifestyle shift is by design? What if this doesn't benefit us? I want you to take a moment and think about it. When you wanted to listen to music, you would go to the shop, buy your favorite CDs, tapes, vinyls, cassettes, whatever they are. You go back home and you hold on this media forever. It's always yours. There's no need to be online all the time, and no one can take it away from you. The same things for movies, the same thing for your house, and the same things for your cars. Yes, it's more convenient nowadays. You have access to thousands of catalogs. Think about it. Today's cars comes with subscription-based models. Like you have your new BMWs offering you heated seats that you can only unlock if you subscribe for a monthly payment. Although the heated seats are pre-installed in the car you buy. Mercedes, they're offering you more power in the car you already have if you pay them monthly. But the car already comes equipped with this amount of power. So they're throttling it for you artificially to make more money. And these subscription-based things like software, like Microsoft Word that we used to buy, or Adobe Photoshop, now it's all subscription-based. And it's not a subscription-based for a year or two. It's permanent. You will never own this. What happens if they lock your account? So let me ask you the obvious question. Who is profiting from this world where you own nothing and you're renting and subscribing to everything? Obviously, the companies that are giving you this service. These companies who own everything are making insane amounts of money, while the individual, the normal person, is getting poorer and owns less and less assets. Back in the day, you could own a CD that could become gold or rare, and you'll have an asset in a CD. I know it's a simple, very exaggerated example, but that's an asset you own. Nowadays, you don't own any assets. Everything is borrowed from these companies that are making insane amount of profit and are buying all the assets that you and me otherwise would have bought and lived in and survived from. So people say, hang on a second, but it's convenient. Now I have access to billion movies. I can just choose whatever I want at all times. And that's true. But what happened when all these services that you have is linked to one account? And for some reason, like what we're seeing in America today, the fascist administration of Trump, they decide to lock you out of your account. And before you tell me this is a conspiracy theory and you're crazy, no, hear me out. During coronavirus in Canada, a group of truckers that lost all their income and work and had to work in order to keep paying their mortgage, which by the way didn't stop. You had still to pay your dues and debts and mortgages. They decided to go and protest on the border because they needed to keep doing their jobs. They couldn't stop working, but the government didn't want them to work anymore. So these people were getting into debt and more debt and more debt and struggling. When they were protesting, the government froze all their bank accounts, which means they went into insane financial troubles because they had no access to what's legally theirs, their own money. Now think how terrifying it is if Trump decides to do the same thing now to your Google accounts, to your Apple Wallet, to your streaming services, to your Spotify. Think about if all cars were electric and you used an application to access them. Think about if they blocked you from driving your car, if they blocked you from charging your car, from charging your devices. Would this lead to an authoritarian governments and countries with insane amount of power? Or on the other hand, would you say, no, this is more convenient and we're willing to take that risk? Now we need to sit and think about it. If you think about property prices as well, property prices have risen across the globe, in Australia, in Europe, while your salaries are stagnating. Take for example Greece. Greece property prices has increased around 200 to 300% in the last decade, while their wages not just they stagnated, they are less than what the average Greek used to make before 2008. Now there is money for everyone in this world. There's access to property, to natural resources, but the elite and the wealthy are choosing to amass them and have them all by themselves. Why is that? Do they lack money? No, it's not about money. So why are they amassing all this money? Why are they making you poorer and own nothing? Is it about control maybe? Now this trend is scary because it's not slowing down. Central banks are teasing digital currencies now. Governments are pushing to do digital IDs where all your medical records, where all your banking, all your accounts are tied to a governmental ID. You can see government now are pushing for people to give their ID details to website and the government to access certain certain sites. They started with, oh, we need to protect the children and verify their age so they can't use social media and access pornography websites. But all of a sudden next year it's gonna be about you, and they wanna know about your data and what you say about them. And if you say something wrong in your social media and they'll verify that's you because it's tied to your account, they're gonna lock you out. Or would they? It's something to think about. Aren't you a bit terrified or not? What happens when they take your cash away from you and it's all digital as well? They're gonna say it's about organized crime, but who are the biggest criminals? Now, this trend also is bringing people to change their life habits and try and escape this and go live off the grid. A lot of people I've met in Australia decided to sell everything they have and move to caravans. I've decided to sell everything I have and travel the world. People live in motorhomes. People are going to countries and live off the grid, and people are going to third world countries where this hasn't happened yet, and they have more sense of freedom. So collectively, these people are choosing a change, whether to rebel against the system or just to feel free. So let me ask you, would you rather own less but be free, or rent everything but be dependent? Let me know down in the comments. If this made you think, like, comment and subscribe. I have more pieces like this coming up, and I will be talking about how we can take control back of our lives. Thank you for watching. This is Rami, out.